Okay, welcome everyone. Get my comfortable position, as you should too. All right, welcome to this session of Acu Yoga, where we're going to explore the interrelationship between yoga movement and working with these wonderful lotus mat products, the mat and the pillow. So I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I always feel like I have to introduce myself in every session because hopefully we have new people watching all the time, either live with me or come back later and watch it whenever you want. So I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I have been a yoga teacher and a mindfulness coach for 50 years, 52 to be exact, but 50 is good enough. And I really enjoy this interaction that we have where I'm showing you what I hope for you will be little shortcuts that I've learned over the past 50 years that just make your whole yoga experience feel better in your body and in your mind. This is a really strong point that I can't make enough, and I know there's this buzzword about, body, mind, spirit, and how it's all interrelated, but truly, when you practice yoga, you begin to notice the differences in your emotional attitude, in the way your reactivity comes down over certain situations. This is the body-mind thing that we are exploring. It's lovely to do yoga. If you are someone who goes to a studio to do it, great for you. If you're a beginner and this is your first yoga class, great for you. But the truth is, we don't live in the yoga studio, nor do we live in this beautiful yoga space. We live out there in the world, and for all of us, no matter what your situation is, you have challenges that you face every day. And the lovely part of this practice that we're doing together is that the integration of your life outside and all of its triggers and your emotional reaction to that life and the way your body will then internalize those emotional reactions for the better or for the worse, those things all become beautifully intertwined in a way that you get to have a better life, right? Have the happy life that you want right now, not later when the kids are grown up and you quit your job or retired from your job. There's a wonderful saying that goes, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey, or the other way around, right? You need to have a happy journey if you want to get to a happy ending. You can't struggle and have all sorts of angst and terribly knotted up just so that you can get to the vacation at the end. How many times have you gone on vacation and felt like, I need a couple of days to decompress, and then the vacation's over and you're back to the regular unhappy journey. So that's who I am, and that's why I'm here. I'm sure you have your own reasons for practicing and being here. Let's see if we can make this journey while we are together for the hour, half hour, whatever it is that we're together for. Let's see if we can make this part of your happy journey in your life. So, grab your lotus mat and lotus pillow and let's begin. Okay, the first part of the practice is always the arrival. And the arrival means that you're going to come from wherever you have been to right here in this present moment. As you're arriving, make sure that you've grabbed some water and you have some water close by. Drinking water is encouraged during this practice whenever you want. And after this practice, see if you can maintain that drinking of the water whenever you want. Some people tell you you should force yourself to drink a gallon of water every day. I don't really believe it's a good idea to force yourself to do anything. But hopefully you'll be inspired after this practice to want to drink more water. So find a comfortable seated position. It can be on the floor, in a traditional yoga pose or any other way that feels good to you. You can sit on the edge of a bed. You can sit in a chair. Whatever feels comfortable to you. Your comfort is key in making this practice something that your body is going to internalize and use for your better and not for, another should. Another thing that you've been told you should be doing that you don't really love. So here we are in this moment. If you haven't already had a couple of sips of water, go ahead and take a couple before we begin. So I'm going to ask you as we arrive here, in this moment right now, I'm going to give you a little measuring scale, 1 to 10. The first measuring scale is for your body. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is your body feels absolutely wonderful. Nothing hurts, everything feels aligned, blissful. And 10 is I'm experiencing real pain. Somewhere in my body or all over, I'm experiencing real pain. So just give yourself a number from 1 to 10. Please don't judge the number. Whatever number comes up, it's fine. Not only is it fine, it's accurate. All right, now we're gonna look at the emotional scale. Same 1 to 10. Let's say 1 is I'm satisfied, blissful with everything that is in my life right now. And 10 is I'm in a state of deep frustration or depression or despair. So where might you be on the emotional scale right now? And again, whatever number comes up, please just trust it. It's not anything to shame yourself over or to strive to do better about. We just want to notice that in this moment, and it's just for this moment, I am where I am. This is a very profound wisdom. You should write that down. I am where I am. Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome here. You are welcome as you are. So let's do some moments of arrival. What we're going to actually be focusing on today is a part of the body that you may or may not be familiar with. If you go to the gym to exercise or you do walking or any of the other wonderful body movement practices that there are, this might be the first time that you're hearing about fascia. Mostly what we hear about is muscles, sometimes bones, joints, but fascia. So fascia, I want you to think about fascia as this internal spandex system that you have in your body. It is the foundation that holds your body together. All the muscles and all the organs and everything else that makes up your physical body is held by this amazing fascial connectivity tissue. The fascia is fed by lymph. Now we all have heard of lymph. Unfortunately, we usually hear about it in a disease connotation, where there is a growth or a cancer in a lymph node, and we know that that's not a good thing. Lymph is a very clear fluid that is traveling through your body and bringing warmth and taking away toxins and giving you this wonderful sense of well-being. And it is a clear fluid, and it is carried in the fascia. So the fascia itself is not only its own system of, think of a suspension bridge. I know every time I go over a suspension bridge, I'm amazed at how those suspension rods seem to hold these huge amounts of steel totally still. That's your fascia inside your body. And then what is it that feeds the fascia? The lymph. So we're going to be doing yoga today, acu-yoga, using the acupressure mats and pillows to enhance the toning of the fascia and the flowing of the lymph within your body. That's wonderful information, and basically all you have to know is that this should feel wonderful to you. And if it doesn't, please don't worry. We're going to be taking it very slow and gentle, mindfully approaching the movements, and mindfulness makes all the difference. So let's begin. In your comfortable seated position, having had a sip of water or 10, and let's take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Now what do I mean by diaphragmatic? You're going to imagine that you have an accordion right here in your rib cage. And when you inhale, that accordion comes out wide, 180 degrees. And when you exhale, it's like you're pushing this accordion back in. Find a comfortable place to rest your hands, rest your arms, and you can keep your eyes open, closed, or half-masked, whatever feels good. And inhale. Now this is in through your nose, hearing a loud ha sound in your throat, pulling your collarbones wide apart and drawing your ribs open like that huge accordion that it is. And then as you hearing the loud ha sound in the back of your throat, that big, deep Darth Vader kind of sound as you let the ribs come together. Let the accordion meet right there in the center of your body until you can feel the accordion meet, come back together. Drop your tailbone straight down and then feel this little curling up of your tailbone. And you'll feel this little lift in your whole upper body. This movement right here rocks your pelvic floor, tones it up, and is wonderful for any lower back issues. Inhale. Collarbones are wide. Ribs are open like the accordion. Drop your chin a little bit towards that hollow between your collarbones and hold everything open. And then as you exhale, once again, bring the accordion back in. Have it meet at center point of your body, keeping your collarbones still wide open. Let your tailbone drop straight down like an anchor to your chair or your bed or your floor, and then curling up a little bit toward your navel. This is the pause now between the inhale and exhale. Let's play right here for a moment. And inhale again. Holding it wide. And exhale. Right here at the end of your exhale, linger in the pause. Drop your tailbone down and then let it curl toward your navel a little bit. Great. Okay, now just for fun, after these 3 diaphragmatic breaths, I want you to check in again on the emotional scale of 1 to 10, remembering that 1 is complete state of calm contentedness, and 10 is some very high agitation. And where are you right now? If the number hasn't changed, it hasn't changed. That's just the truth of the matter for you. If it has, just take a moment to marvel at that for a moment. 3 deep breaths using your diaphragmatic breathing, and somehow things feel a little bit different. Or they don't. Still fine. So the diaphragmatic breathing really helps to stroke what's called your vagus nerve, your parasympathetic nervous system. We've heard of the fight or flight response. That's your sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic is the nervous system that brings you back down to groundedness. Diaphragmatic breathing helps to enliven your parasympathetic nervous system response. Okay, we're going to do a couple more seated things in that vein to open the fascia and stroke that parasympathetic nervous system. So now I'd like you to grab your lotus pillow. Hopefully you had it close by. I was already sitting on mine, but I'm going to encourage you, whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, to sit your glutes directly onto the acupressure pillow. A lot of the fascia in our body gets balled up in the glutes, in the hips, in the legs. So by sitting directly on your lotus pillow while we do these movements to open the fascia and clear the lymph, send the lymph through the body and get the parasympathetic nervous system awakened, you are also stimulating those fascial connections that may have some knots in them. And again, you'll know that you're doing this because this feels comfortable to you, sitting directly on your pillow. Okay, so we're going to do a wonderful pose. This is a wonderful thing to do if you either want to wake yourself up or you want to get some sleep. Works either way. Pretty amazing, right? So inhale, and we're just going to test it first. As you inhale, drop your chin to your throat and turn your head to the right as far as it will comfortably go. Right? No contests to win here, so no pushing or forcing. And then inhale again and bring your head back to center. And on your next exhale, let's turn to the left as far as you can comfortably go. No forcing or pushing. No, there's no gold star for the person who goes the furthest. In fact, there's probably the opposite, some strain, and then back to center again. Okay, that's your starting point. So now we're going to Just see how much power you have to open up the fascia, the nervous system, the parasympathetic calmness in your own body quickly and simply. Inhale and bring your arms out into a T. And when your arms are in a T, I want you to imagine that somebody has hold of your wrists on either side and they are pulling, and you're allowing this to happen. You might even feel like you're squeezing an orange between your shoulder blades. So you have this kind of push-pull feeling in your arms. Drop your tailbone. Check again that your tailbone is dropped, and then curl it up. Take those pulls a little bit deeper. Now bend your elbows, and you'll be clasping your hands behind your head, like you would do if you were resting your head in your hands, and that's exactly what you're going to do. Clasp all 10 fingers and rest your head back. Drop your tailbone again. Now as you inhale, you're going to open your eyes very, very wide and your mouth very wide. So you're going to look kind of silly, and I don't mind looking silly to you. I don't see you, of course, but this is what it's going to look like. And then you're going to, keeping your mouth open very wide, just turn your eyes, move your eyes as far to the right as possible until you yawn. So let's try it. Sometimes it's more of a sigh. As soon as you've completed that, bring your eyes back to center. And once again, re-engage. All your fingers are clasped, your head is back, your chin is down. Open your eyes and your mouth very wide. Drop your tailbone for a moment. And then let your eyes pull to the left, like you are really trying to strain to see the back of the room, until you yawn. Wonderful. And then bring your eyes back to center and drop your arms like in a big thud. Let them drop. You can feel something really lovely in your shoulders. That's a lovely little side effect. Okay, now we're going to test again. And inhale, collarbones wide and chin down. Turn your head to the right as far as it will comfortably go. You'll be able to tell if it's gone further by what you can now see. You might be really wowed by this. I am every time. Inhale, bring your head back to center again. Drop your chin a bit. Drop your tailbone a bit. And exhale, turn your head to the left. And see how far your eyes can see now. Make sure your chin is down, no neck strain, and then back to center. Now, if you noticed or felt any difference in the turning of your head, then you have some visceral proof that you have just opened the parasympathetic nervous system, the calmness in your body. And if you didn't notice anything different, that's okay. It still worked for you. You still got that parasympathetic nervous system awakening, which is the opposite of triggering, right? The awakening means that you're feeling more calm. You just don't notice it physically. That's perfectly fine. That's sort of the way I want you to think about all the poses that we do here. Follow the instructions to the best of your ability and know that you are getting 100% of the benefits that are available for you today. Okay, so here we go. I want you to bring yourself into a tabletop position with your lotus mat around your chest area. Place your palms on the ground beside your lotus mat instead of on top of your lotus mat. Uncurl your toes. Bring your knees behind your wrists, and you are in the tabletop position. So, to engage the fascia in the tabletop position, lock your elbows and rotate them inward. See, this would be elbows rotated outward, and this would be inward. It's more like the soft inner parts of your elbows are parallel to each other. Draw your shoulders away from your ear. So I'm going to show you, this is my shoulders not drawn away. This is my shoulders pulled down. And you begin to feel this really delicious engagement in your arms. That's your fascia. You can press your shins a little bit towards the mat. Remember, not on your lotus mat, but towards the mat. And you might feel the engagement of the fascia in your legs. The curious thing about this fascia engagement is that when it's engaged, you feel lighter in your body, right? Instead of feeling like something very muscular is weighing on you heavily, you can still feel the engagement in your body, but it feels very light. You begin to understand what ballerinas feel like, right? They have this huge inner engagement of the body. And not for nothing, notice what ballerinas' bodies end up looking like. And I don't think many of them lift weights. I could be wrong about that, but that's my sense of it. Okay, so we're going to try a couple of engagement of the fascia poses that are going to really help to get this fascia strengthened. So, as you inhale, you're going to place your forearms on the mat beside your lotus mat. So once again, you notice you are not on your lotus mat at all right now. And press your forearms to the mat. And again, you'll feel this engagement towards your shoulders and maybe even your upper back. And we're going to do a little pulsing. This is actually called fascia flossing, right? Think about it as flossing. When you floss your teeth, you have that back and forth kind of pulsing, and that's what we'll be doing with your fascia. So inhale to start, press your forearms to the mat, and as you exhale, pulse your hips back to your heels. You could be looking down at your mat, or you could be looking towards your knees. And as you inhale, coming forward again, so you've got that strong feeling of the forearms pressed to the mat, your yoga mat that is, and as you exhale, pulse. Hips towards the heels, forehead. Actually, you can sort of rest your third eye on your lotus mat. Gosh, that feels great. And then again, inhale, coming back up onto the forearms, shoulders down, and exhale and pulse. Hips towards the heels, and maybe forehead towards the mat. And again, inhale and come back into tabletop. Wrists are under your shoulders, elbows are locked, forearms are curled inward, shoulders are down, and shins are pressed. And you're going to go back to this light kind of feeling in your body. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, now we're going to do a very fascia-based approach to a pose called thread the needle. And this pose is great for the fascia in your shoulder and your trap. So if you have some shoulder issues, working the fascia in the shoulder should be wonderful for you. But again, we're going to take this slowly and mindfully. There is never a good reason to push yourself into discomfort, let alone pain. All right, as you inhale, we're going to lay the right, just turn your right palm up, and maybe the back of your hand, the back of your arm is on your lotus mat, and you're just going to gently sweep your right arm to the right off your lotus mat. Now take your left hand, place it on the ground over your right hand. Right? So you've got kind of a twisted arms situation. All right. Inhale your breath, and as you exhale, you're going to twist yourself to the right. So your shoulder is not down on the mat. Nothing about your shoulders is taking the weight of your body as you bring your left rib cage towards the ceiling. Chin down. And then again, inhale and bring yourself back up to starting position. And exhale, and once again, bring yourself down on towards your right shoulder. It's like your right ear is sort of coming to the ground. Looking up to the left. And bring yourself back. And then one more time, inhale. And let's try this on the exhale, coming down towards the right shoulder, bringing your left rib cage up towards the ceiling so your body's sort of twisted in midair, chin down. And then we'll bring you back up again. And now turn your right palm over, bring your left palm on the other side of your lotus mat and back into the tabletop pose. Lock your elbows, rotate your shoulders, press your shins. Your chin is dropped a little bit, your eyes are up, and take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, let's do the opposite side. So turn your left palm up and bring your right arm, lay your left forearm down, bring your right arm over your left. So your palm is on the ground and your arms are like in an X, bit of an X shape. All right? And as you inhale your breath, on the exhale, let's lay something makes me want to go to the right again, even though that's not correct. So it's the left shoulder down, the right shoulder comes up, the right ribs are coming up a little bit in a twist. And inhale and come back. And exhale, and again, we're just gonna lay the left ear, let's say, towards the ground, bring the right ribs up. You feel this middle body twist, go easy. And then come back again. And one more time. Left shoulder down, right ribs twisting. And coming back again. And then we'll turn the palms over, place them on either side of your lotus mat, and back to tabletop position. Inhale. And exhale. Always breathing with that accordion rib cage. Shoulders down, elbows rotated in, shins pressed to the mat. Okay. Now we are ready for some supine poses. So just ease yourself down. I'm going to go onto my left hip. Turn your body around so that your legs are out in front of you, and your lotus mat, you're going to now move onto the horizontal. You can even position your lotus pillows under your neck might be. And with your legs out, palms on the knees, let's give the knees a little bit of a bounce. Sitting nice and straight means to lift your rib cage towards your shoulders, right? You don't have to like thrust yourself up out of your body, just rib cage towards the shoulders. And then stop bouncing, flex your heels, rotate your knees in. Notice that you can feel this kind of strengthening happen when you do these little rotations. This is the wonderful feeling of the fascia, those tension rods coming back into alignment. Now brace yourself with your palms on your knees and arms are braced. You're going to roll yourself down vertebra by vertebra onto your lotus mat. Now remember, you just have the mat under your, I'm going to say under your glutes. So right now my mat ended up under my hips. So I'm just going to take a moment to scoot it down a little bit so it's under the glutes. Now for me, I can instantly feel the difference. And for the pillow, I'm going to put mine under the neck. And again, the instant comfort that you feel in making these little positional adjustments tells you how much benefit you are getting. And it's a direct correlation. You know, it's not like exercise where it's an inverse relationship. The harder you go and the more it hurts, the better it's supposed to be for you. No. We want the exact opposite thoughts to go through your mind. The more comfortable you feel, the easier your body moves. That means the more in alignment it is and the more beneficial it is for your overall health. Okay. Wouldn't that be lovely if that was true, that everything that feels good to you is benefiting you, and everything that feels terrible or uncomfortable is not benefiting you? It is the truth. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Inhale. With the ribs open wide. Accordion breathing with the diaphragm. Hear it in the back of your throat. Hold the collarbones wide and then exhale. And you'll feel your shoulder blades grounding you as your ribs come back in and meet at the center. And then you're in the pause between the inhale and exhale. Drop your lower back. Pull your tailbone between your heels, like you really want to lengthen it down there and then let it curl up toward your navel a little bit. Feel that tiny little pelvic rock? Very subtle, very beneficial. Getting a good strong pelvic floor. Okay. So let your upper body be very relaxed. Your arms are not too close to your body. Palms are facing up. Chin is tucked down. And as you inhale, roll your knees in towards each other. And as you exhale, squeezing your legs tight as if someone has wrapped some spandex wrapping around your legs and they have to move as one unit. Bend both knees gently and place both soles. Maybe you can get them onto your lotus mat. If not, no worries. But it's really worth a try. I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, but if you haven't heard of reflexology, this is the modality of massaging the bottoms of your feet, because all the nerve endings for all the organs in your body are in your feet. So the toes, the big toe is where the heart is. The various other toes are different teeth. The ball of your foot are the lungs, and then the arches are your digestive system. So imagine if you could have your feet on your lotus mat, getting the wonderful acupressure points to be working on your heart, your lungs, your digestive system, just by lightly resting your feet on your lotus mat. So I just scooted myself up a little bit so that I could get that benefit. Okay, so once again, drop your lower back, point your tailbone between your heels, let it curl up a little toward your navel. Okay, we're going to start with very gentle windshield wipers. Inhale, your knees are at center. As you exhale, trying to keep the legs together, let both knees lean to the right, but keep both soles flat on your lotus mat and both hips flat to the ground. So notice that if I was to let my feet come up off the lotus mat and let my hip disconnect, the knees might go further, but it's a different kind of movement, right? We're trying to move the fascia of the body, not so much the muscles. So you, again, when you do this fascial flossing, it feels very relaxing. Inhale, knees to center again. Exhale, let both knees lean to the left, keeping those soles on your lotus mat. Feel all the pins in your toes, the balls of your feet, the arches, the heels, knowing that they have not disconnected from that benefit. And then inhale again, knees to center. Exhale, knees lean to the right. Soles of the feet are flat, hips are flat, collarbones are wide, lower back is dropped. And then inhale, knees to center. Exhale, let the knees sway to the left. Soles stay connected to those wonderful lotus mat petals that are engaging your acupressure system, all those nerve endings for your heart, your lungs, your digestive system. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale again, knees to the right. Hips are flat, soles are flat. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, and let the knees one more time lean to the left. Soles are flat, hips are square. And then inhale again and knees to center. And here we're going to stop, but try not to stop on a dime, right? It's more like you took your foot off the gas in the car and now it's just rolling to a stop. Okay, if you've just completed this with me, I'm going to ask you again to check in on your emotional scale. 1 to 10. 1 is really chill. 10 is extremely agitated. And just notice where you are. Remember, there's no wrong answers. This is just you connecting with you. What could be more important? All right. Now we're going to do one windshield wiper side to side with a very, very deep twist. So move your arms a little further away from your body. And here's a way you can engage your fascia even when it's not part of the pose. You dig your arms a little bit into your ground as you move them a little further away. Then let them go. All right, inhale, knees are at center. Tuck your chin, make sure that your eyes are gazing at your knees. Drop your lower back. And as you exhale, now let's let both knees fall to the right. And go ahead and let the soles of your feet come off the pins, the petals of the mat, the lotus mat. So you're more sort of on the edges of your feet. And your left hip is rolling like a little marble. Now remember, it's not important that you get your knees to the ground, right? That's old thinking, that you gotta push until it comes all the way down. You're just hanging here. The hanging is what's going to strengthen your fascia, increase the lymph flow through your body, giving you that sense of well-being. And just linger here for a moment. You'll want to. Inhale. And on the exhale, again, just feel how heavy your knees are without your pushing them. And when you're at the bottom of your exhale, no breath left, pull your tailbone as if you want it to touch your heels. And then it's like a spring on the end of your tailbone that you let go of, and it springs a little toward your navel. Tuck your chin again. And once again, inhale and bring the knees back to center, gently laying your soles back on those lotus pins. Just being aware of all the benefit that you're getting to the organs of your body as these pins, as these petals are pressing on those. And on the next exhale, now let's let the knees sway to the left. Okay to let the soles of your feet come off the petals. Keep your shoulder blades on the floor so collarbones are wide, your chin is down. And your right hip is rolling like a little bowberry. And you'll linger right here. Inhale. Collarbones wide and chin down. And on the exhale again, baby, just let the knees feel like they want to fall down, not that you need to push them down. And then pull on your tailbone. You want it to go beyond your toes even, maybe into a wall that's in front of you. Hold it there for a moment. And then when you let go, it's like a little spring up toward your navel. And once again, on the next inhale, knees back to center. When they come back to center, you're going to let them do that rocking, rolling stop. And notice that moment when you come into stillness on your own. And take a breath. Inhale. Ribs wide open. Chin down towards the little hollow in between your collarbones. Drop your lower back and then exhale. Let the ribs come back in and meet. Okay, I'm going to do something really wonderful for the fascia behind on your glutes and behind your thighs. Remember I mentioned that this is the area of very dense congestion of fascia. It tends to happen around the glutes, the thighs, even the hamstrings. And this wonderful pose that we're going to do next, in conjunction with using the lotus mat, is really going to help to break down those knots, those areas of congestion. All right, so as you inhale, you're going to rise off your right heel, arch, ball of the foot, tip of the toe, and then place your right ankle over your left knee and let your right leg relax. And flex your right sole. Again, inhaling, sweep your arms close to your body, pulling from your wrists like you've given someone else permission to pull. And then you're going to thread your arms through. It's the right arm through, the left arm goes behind the left knee, and you're going to clasp all 10 fingers right there behind the left knee, and then flex the left sole. So right sole and left sole are flexed. Feel like that left knee is pulling towards the wall in front of you so the shoulders get this wonderful release. Okay, you're glancing at your right heel, Inhale your breath, and as you exhale, bend your elbows into your waist. Just feel like you're drawing your right heel towards your chin. Doesn't have to be a lot. And then again, inhale and let it go. And exhale, draw it in. Always feel like it's the shoulders doing this, the legs are relaxed, the feet are flexed, so that's not relaxed. But great for the fascia. Keep checking the shoulders, they're away from your ears. And then let it go. Inhale. And on the next exhale again, elbows in your waist, shoulders down, drawing the right heel toward your chin. And you might feel something behind your left thigh. You might not feel anything, but this is just wonderful fascia work. And then on your next inhale, let it go. So 3 pulses. And then disengage your fingers, let your arms drop, big thud, and land your left toes, ball of the foot, arch and heel on your pedals, and then your right toes, ball of the foot, arch and heel on the pedals. Take a breath. Inhale. And exhale. Always with the ribs, always with that imaginary accordion, always hearing the loud Darth Vader sound in the back of your throat on both the inhale and the exhale. Okay, we're ready for the other side. So as you inhale, rise off your left heel and arch, and ball of the foot and toes, and lay your left ankle across your right knee. Let your left leg relax and begin to flex the sole of the left foot. Inhale, sweep your arms in close to your body. If they're really close, sometimes you'll have an opportunity to just for a moment rest your palms on the lotus petals. Just a nice moment. Remember, no pushing or forcing, it's just resting. And then you'll raise your left arm up and thread it through. Your right arm comes around your right leg so you can clasp all 10 fingers behind your right knee. Make sure all 10 of them are clasped, including your thumbs. Now flex your right sole as well as your left sole, and you're looking at your left heel. Inhale. And on the exhale, bend your elbows, lodge them in your waist, shoulders down, and you'll find your left heel drawn towards your chin. And again, you might feel that sense of stretch behind your right thigh. And then let it go. Inhale. And again, on the exhale, bend your elbows in your waist, shoulders down. Draw that left heel toward your chin. It's sort of what happens. The left heel comes towards the chin as you bend the elbows more. And then inhale, let it go. And just take a moment to flex the soles again as you inhale, the end of your inhale, and then exhale. Elbows in your waist, shoulders down. You might feel the increase of pressure across your hip band of the lotus petals, but it should feel very good. And then on the next inhale, let it go. Disengage your fingers, drop your arms, big thud, and then lower down, right toes on the lotus petals, ball of the foot, arch and heel. Left toes on the petals, ball of the foot, arch and heel. And once again, reposition. And let's just do a little bit of swaying of the knees. Soles stay flat, the hips stay flat. It's a little bit faster swaying than when we coordinate it with the inhales and exhales, but don't forget to breathe. And remember, when I say stop, it's never like you've stepped on the brake. It's more like you took your foot off the gas and it comes to its own little rolling stop. But let's let this continue for about a minute. As it's happening, you can close your eyes and just notice the comfort you feel in your body, but someplace else also. It's something about your whole demeanor starts to just feel gentler or softer, even if it's just a tiny bit. tiny bit is just moving in the direction that you want to be in, the direction of feeling good in your life and good in your body. Okay, so I'm going to say stop, and remember that's the rolling stop, and stop. And take a breath here. Inhale with the big accordion in your rib cage. Loud ha sound in your throat. Collarbones pulled long and wide. And exhale, and again, the ribs come in. You're playing this accordion, right? So you can feel that little resistance that you would feel if you really were playing an accordion. Still, it moves to your movements, right? You're pushing in and it doesn't push back. Drop your lower back, point your tailbone between your heels, give it some real intentionality, and then let go and it bounces up. Beautiful. All right, as you inhale, bring your legs together, sweep your arms close to your sides, and again, if your arms end up on your lotus mat, good for you. You have a chance to either have the backs of your hands on the mat or the palms. I'm going to squeeze every little ounce of comfort and healing that we can out of every single movement that we make. And now as you inhale again, rise off both heels, arches, balls of the feet, right, lungs, tips of the toes, heart and teeth, knees to chest. Bend your elbows, hands in prayer in front of your chest, elbow tips pulling towards your hips, chin aiming towards that little hollow between your collarbones. And on your next exhale, you're going to roll your body to the right. I'm actually going to roll to the left so I can stay with you guys. And you'll be rolling almost off your lotus mat, definitely off your lotus pillow. Now the pillow is going to be your hands in prayer. You're going to put them on the ground under your forehead and rest your head there. Tuck your chin to your throat, bring your elbows to your navel, bring your knees over your elbow tips. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Notice you can still bring your accordion out very wide. Your ribs can still go. And on the exhale, imagine what you might have to do to bring the bridge of your nose in through your throat. See if you can bring your left elbow tip onto the ground. Instead of it matching with your right, bring it over the right elbow tip so it's on the ground and pulling on that fascia in your shoulder. Inhale. And on the next exhale, imagine how you might bring your hairline in through that hollow between your collarbones. Feel how your neck is cooperating with you, opening up. And inhale. And on the next exhale, it's going to be the top of your head that wants to pass through your throat. And on the next inhale, turn your palms over. One palm will be flat, one will not be flat. But you are looking at the backs of your hands as you press yourself up in a little bit of a twist back into a comfortable seated position. This time, grab your lotus pillow, and in your comfortable seated position on the floor or on a chair or on the edge of your bed, sit your glutes directly on your lotus pillow. This is a great tip, my friends. Take your lotus pillow with you everywhere. Have more than one so that you can be sure you always have one at the office, at your home office, in a chair that you sit in when you're having dinner, in your car, anywhere that you're going to be seated. This lotus pillow can be working on the fascia in your glutes. Remember that area of your body where the fascia tends to be congested. When fascia gets congested, the fluid of lymph flow through your body can't happen easily. Think of it like a garden hose with all these kinks, right? That's the fascia when it's congested. But here, in the simple act of sitting, using your lotus pillow, you're helping to get those kinks to relax. All right, So here we are, my friends, at the end of this session. Find that comfortable seated position with your collarbones wide. Your chin is going to be aiming towards this little hollow between your collarbones. So it's not exactly down and forward, it's sort of down and back. And let's take those 3 deep breaths again. Diaphragmatic breathing as you inhale, open the ribs. And as you exhale, bring them back. Big Darth Vader sound in the back of your throat. Inhale. And as you exhale, again, close the accordion. Stay here in this place where there's no inhale or exhale. You're in that pause place. Drop your tailbone down. Let it curl up a little bit. And one more inhale. And exhale. So let's just stay here in a place of either your eyes closed, your eyes open, this really nice place of feeling yourself grounded in this moment. I'm just going to leave you with a reading from my book, which is called The Blissful Warrior. Just something to leave in your mind as you go out into the rest of your day or into a night of sleep, depending on what time you're watching this video. I did not come here to fix anything. I did not come here for answers. I came to remember that I already am the answer. I came to realize that life is a journey of experiencing and expressing and expanding, and that my desires for myself have value. I am worthy. I am living proof of the deepest truth that I have been seeking elsewhere. I am love. And I am already home. Thank you so much for joining me today. I always like to say that after this practice, I selfishly have come here for myself. This is a wonderful thing for me to be doing. For me, it's middle of the day. And I hope that in sharing it with you, you get this same wonderful feeling of comfort and stillness in your body and in your mind or your emotional state, whatever it is that you want to call it, that I have right now. So again, one more little check-in on yourself, 1 to 10. And let's do it from the body point of view. Right? Is your body, 1 meaning this body feels good. I'm appreciative of having it. It's a really nice place to live. And 10 being, I wish I could peel this thing off of me. So where are you right now? Remember, I am where I am. That is the deepest truth of acceptance that begins your journey home to yourself. Thank you again for joining me today. I'm Rhonda Uretsky. I'll be bringing you acupressure yoga with these wonderful lotus mats and pillows weekly. If there's anything you'd like me to address specifically, if you have any emotional pain or any physical pain, I can address that in these sessions in a way that will be gentle and that you will feel an instant difference. You know, people like to ask after the sessions when they feel so good, will this last? Sure it will, with practice. Thank you for joining me in this practice of acupressure yoga today. I hope to see you again very soon. Please write into us. Let us know what it is that your desires are. Remember, your desires are worthy, and we'd love to address them. See you soon. Enjoy your day.